Hey everybody, how's it going? Today's been an alright day. It was a grief class day, which means it was really exhausting. Grief class is about an hour and a half, and while there's a lot of wonderful information that I get out of it, the work is exhausting, mentally and physically, and having the kids home during that, and then here immediately after it because of all this ice, I was pretty burnt out and so pretty irritable after the class, and so it took a little while to get through that. Thankfully, Braden stepped up and helped out with Rayla and helped my nerves go down, which was really, really appreciated. All right. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave comments. If you have questions that you would like me to touch on, feel free to ask, and sometimes I'll respond to them in a video. Sometimes I'll just respond straight in the comments. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Today, I wanted to bring a couple things from the class to share. And I also wanted to say thank you because one of our viewers got this book. It's Big Panda and Tiny Dragon. And I've only started to glance at the pictures, but the art in this is absolutely beautiful. So tonight, one of my goals is to go through and start reading it. And I could probably finish it in one night. There's not tons of text in it, which is perfect for me. I prefer picture books. But yeah, so I'm kind of excited. But the thing that stood out the most, just looking at the cover, was the art. So it's gorgeous style. So yeah. All right. So today in the grief group, so every grief group or grief class, this is more of a class. It's kind of a combination. But in the beginning, there's kind of some kind of mindfulness activity, which this one I found more useful than some that I've done. And what I really like about this one is how simple it is, and we're all aware of it, but we often forget about it. And so before we get into it too much, I want to share the idea behind it is to take you out of your primitive brain and back into now. So, and when I say primitive brain, for us going through grief or trauma or anything like that, out of survival mode, because a lot of us get into that mode. And I feel very fortunate that my bereavement counselor helped me get out of this 90% of the time in my life now. I don't feel like I'm in survival mode. And so there's still those times though where I go back to it, where I get back into that. And thankfully I don't have the anxiety that I did. That's pretty much gone. But I do get into that survival mode and forget to be in the now. And so this really simple activity actually is intended to take you out of that primitive brain or out of survival mode and back into now, up into that front brain. So, and it's simply soft belly breathing, which sounds too easy, too good to be true. The way that the counselor explained it to us was essentially there's, I want to say, a nerve in the tummy that when you stretch it, it helps trigger the brain. So not a doctor, not a psychologist, nothing like that. So I'm going to trust what she's saying, but I do know that a very small amount of breathing, focused breathing, mindful breathing, can be really, really helpful in bringing us back to now and centered. And so for this particular type of breathing, it's simply breathing in and expanding your belly instead of your chest. So if you hold your chest in your belly should go out, not your chest. And then when you breathe out, your belly should go in and your breath out, and your chest should essentially stay steady the entire time. And you can do that for about a minute, and it's amazing. And with the other people that were there, it was really neat hearing some of their perspectives on this specific breathing and this activity. One person, because it's really easy for our minds to wander. And then when our minds wander, because we should be focusing on the breathing, when our minds wander and we bring it back, it's really easy to judge ourselves and get upset at ourselves for like, oh my God, now I'm thinking about this and now I'm thinking about that. But it's also natural for it to do that. And so we need to do it in a non-judgmental way and just know that when we're breathing, when we're doing the breathing activity and our mind wanders, the act of bringing our mind back to the breathing is the activity. That is being mindful. It's being aware. And we should applaud ourselves for being able to see that we're distracted and able to bring it back. And so it's really important to do these types of activities without any judgment against ourselves. And another person really appreciated that transition between breathing in and breathing out. And for them, it was just a very serene moment when you stop, transition, and breathe out. That there's just a very small moment in there that was extra special for them, and being aware of that really helped them. I found the activity just helped me become a bit calmer, which was really nice. And I'm going to practice it simply because I want to be aware and have that available for if I do get into a more stressful moment or jump back into that survival mode and whatnot. So yeah, mindful breathing, mindful soft belly breathing. It was a nice activity. It was very calming, very relaxing, and extremely easy. So keep that in your back pocket next time you're feeling off. Or feeling like everybody's out to get you, or that you can't get everything done, or that you're having a hard time, or that you're just feeling defeated. Any of those feelings. And if you're feeling happy, it's okay to do it too. Another thing that was kind of more of an assignment in today's class was journaling, which I'm terrible at making myself do, but this one I did. And I thought it was really, really, the prompt was simple, rewarding, and difficult at the same time. Kind of like we have all the emotions going. It was write a story that nobody else knows about your person. And I found that simple in the fact that writing about Sarah is comforting. I found it difficult because with our closest people, like my parents and her parents and sister, we shared everything. Like, we didn't really have anything hidden. So I found it really hard to find something to write about that was a story that nobody else knew. And then rewarding because as I thought about some of the moments that we had that were more private and special, quiet, and simple. So kind of bringing out something that I don't get to think about because I don't have the time to just sit and dig into memories and thoughts that are deeper down and sometimes harder to find because my mind needs big emotions attached to moments in order to quickly find them. So those were two of the biggest things that I got out of my grief class today, and I was very appreciative of those. And hearing other people's experiences with the breathing and concerns and feelings kind of about the different activities that we do. One other thing that I thought was interesting, and I'm not going to dig too deep into it, was going through the different ways that grief actually impacts us. So we all have the emotional, all the feelings, But then talking about the other side effects, like the physical and the mental, and so the cognitive, just all these different things that we don't necessarily think about when we think about grief. Mostly we think about the emotional side. And the biggest ones, so a lot of people were feeling the physical ones and heartache, literally feeling sick, having a harder time with their immune system, joint pain, stuff like that, tummy issues, things like that. Mine was, I was really able to connect with the cognitive ones, which is something I rely on in life, is my analytical, cognitive ability to reason, remember certain things, and so as I was reading through this list, which Grief Brain, so I was reading through the list of different cognitive issues that people recognize when they are going through grief. It was nice to affirm those things that I'm going through, specifically the cognitive and the forgetfulness and the difficulties in doing what I once did really well, because it's scary. It's scary when you can't do something as well as you used to be able to. And there is uncertainty with it that is absolutely terrifying, you know. It may be possible to get back to where I was, but it might not be. And so I'm trying to find a safe place in that, to accept that it likely will never, like, I will never function the same again. And I'm okay with that. But at the same time, knowing that I have a growth mindset and that I don't want to give up on some of my abilities, so I've got to also continue to work to regain some of those skills and abilities and just functions that I was able to do. And I don't know how long that's going to take, and I don't know if I'll ever get to where I was, and I don't have any expectations either way right now. I'm just trying my best to do my best. And it's kind of the same that we've always said with the kids. Your grades don't matter. It's what you put in and the effort you put in and how hard you try that matters. I don't care if you fail, so long as you are trying your best to get there. And in school, often, if you're trying your best, you're not going to fail. But in real life, there are times where you can try your best, try your hardest, work as hard as you can, and you can fail. And then you get up and try again and work harder, or as hard as you can. I can't say harder, because you work as hard as you can to do your best. That's really what it boils down to. And so that's where I'm at in moving forward in this normal life that we're supposed to go back to. Today is getting better hours and hours later. Hopefully tomorrow, with the kids going back to school and stuff, I'll be able to have a little reprieve, a little alone time, a little reflection time, and be able to just kind of get recentered, so to speak. So, yeah. I've enjoyed this time with them so much. Danced around with Rayla, played video games with Brayden. And so I have appreciated having them around so much. Amelia's mostly just hidden away and gone on walks in the ice. But I appreciate having my kids and being around them more than anything. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this video here and get in and spend some time with Braden while Rayla's asleep playing some video games. So have a wonderful day, morning, night, wherever you are. Remember, be kind, make good choices, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.